Hey everyone, it's Miguel here. Today we're going to dive into the cost of living in Bethesda, Maryland. If you're considering relocating to the DC suburbs, we're going to dive into the four major components of the cost of living. So we're going to break down the major costs of housing, utilities. So let's get started to see what the real cost of living in the area is. So Bethesda is known for its upscale neighborhood, and the housing pricing reflects that. The median home price in Bethesda, Maryland is above $1 million. And there's some areas like Edgemore and Bradley Hills that are significantly higher. Now, if you were to rent in Bethesda, Maryland, it's typically going to cost you between $2,300 to $2,700 a month for a small apartment. And this is depending on the amenities of the building. In places like North Bethesda, a little bit higher, more so Rockville, it'll be somewhere around maybe a little bit less. And these are for small apartments. As I mentioned, these are for 1-bedroom apartments. If you go into 2-bedroom apartments, it gets a little bit more expensive. And as you try to rent a single family property, it could run you somewhere between $4,000 to $7,000, $10,000 a month, depending on the size of the property that you intend to rent. Now, utilities obviously vary from house to house, but in general, it'll be around $150 to $200 a month, and that will be for your electricity, for your gas, for your water, things like that. For internet, you have a couple options here, which are growing, but the main ones are Xfinity and Verizon, and those will run you about $50 to $75 for internet alone. And of course, you can get bundles where it can be $150, $250 for all the packages that you would want to watch TV and have a home line and all that stuff as well. For the transportation, as we dive into that, so you can obviously drive, but if you're going to take public transportation, the red line goes in and out of DC and also can take you into Virginia, depending on where work is. You can get a monthly Metro pass for about $150 a month, and it depends on how much you travel. If you're driving, the price of gas, again, varies on the time of year. Right now, it's around $3.50. I have seen it in certain areas where it is over $4, maybe $5 a gallon, which is crazy, but it depends on the area of where you are charging your gas. Now, as we dive into groceries and restaurants and dining, again, it varies based on your palate and your appetite, but here we go. Grocery cost in Bethesda, slightly above the national average. So with a gallon of milk, it costs about $4.50. A dozen eggs will cost about $3.80. So you can expect your monthly grocery bill to be about $1,000 or so. Now this is for a family of 4. So as you plan to go out in the town and eat in Bethesda, it again will vary place to place, but it'll be about $70 to $80 for 2 people. We have a family of 5, and it is almost impossible to get something under $100 in the area. So now we'll dive into the healthcare costs. Healthcare in Bethesda is generally going to be higher than the national average. Again, this is one of the most affluent and sought after areas in the state. Your insurance will vary, of course, but depending on what you have, a doctor's visit could be $150 to $200. Your health insurance premiums could be about $300 to $600 every month. Now, again, I have a family of 5. Our insurance is going to be like $1,500 or so. But again, that depends on your programs and what you get. Now, I've mentioned a few times that Bethesda is one of the cost of living in Bethesda is significantly higher than the national average. The main thing for this is because of the housing prices. So if you are considering relocating to Montgomery County, Maryland, reach out to me. We can have a private free consultation and figure out what is best for you and your family. So when you relocate, you can identify which cities to go to, which cities may not be a good fit for your family, and we'll discuss all of the options to set up a correct plan. You can contact me for tours or a private consultation today in anywhere in the DC metro areas. I'm licensed in Maryland, DC, and Virginia. Again, my name is Miguel Saba, Vice President of Compass here in our Potomac, Maryland office. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.